Sitting out here, looking at these flowers, playing with my dogs, hanging out, doing what I'm doing on an everyday, day-to-day basis. Really got me thinking a lot about something that I read this morning that really put a lot in me. A lot of me to really do a lot of research on a particular term, making sure that I'm constantly getting better, not doing the same thing. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. And I was born July 4th, 1986. And today I want to talk about something in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs is a very interesting a book that in reality it's kind of just it's just a quick hits of inspirational quotes type situation. That in reality it's a whole lot of songs, music, not like songs, psalms is psalms. Proverbs the same way. If you really try to put it all together, just the way that I see it, the way that I've come to understand it. And something in this Proverbs that really got me thinking on the concept of something that I don't know what it is, but this morning I woke up with something to tell me something about a word that's powerful, a word that I talk a lot about, a word that I'm trying to get as many people away from in reality as absolutely possible, and wondering if this is just only something that humans have, or is this something that God also has. And I've come to verify that God also has certain things about this word, and that word is hate. And God hates some things, and he gives us a very clear guidelines, instructions on what it is that he hates, and what it is that they're looking for us not to be doing, and what it is that we should try to refrain from for the remainder of our lives. And it comes down in the book of Proverbs in the 6th chapter, down to I'm pretty sure it's the 11th verse. Let me double check, verify that. Down to the 16th verse. And it straight up says there are 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are untestable to him. This is very interesting because it's super simple, super black and white, super easy to be able to just see what's going on here, to have a good understanding of a lot of this intermingles with a lot of the commandments that are in this book of the Bible, that it all kind of works together in a way. And it works together in a way that it constantly keeps saying similar things and the same things in a way that kind of just makes you have to rethink about it in a different way that you've never thought about it again. That a lot of times I think a lot of people are looking at this Bible and thinking like, if it doesn't say it 50 times, then it must not be meaningful. And if it says it 50 times, then it must be more meaningful than something else. And a lot of times, a lot of cases that I'm going to sit here and say specific about this book that is very interesting is the fact that maybe just for you didn't understand it when you read it in that part. So there's another part for you to be able to understand it. And then for me, I understood it already over there, and I don't need to see the second or third or fourth or fifth time. Some things are just more complicated and complex to be able to get across, that we need to have multiple different ways of it being said for us to be able to understand it. That we don't just understand it, we just say, hey, this is what, hey, Kahi, all done. That this is just what it is, that 2 plus 2 is 4. The only way we get to 4 is with 2 plus 2. And that's not true. We can get there from 0 plus 4. We can get there with 1 plus 3. We can get there from 12 divided by 3. We can get to 4 all kinds of different ways. But the answer is 4. Doesn't mean that the way that we get there, we all are going to understand it. That for you, the multiplication may be simple to just add 2 like numbers of the 2 plus 2 and you got the 4. And then someone else may say, I don't get that, and they need something super complex. Where you're like, I need that 12 divided by that 3. Some people just don't understand division. They don't get it. They don't work with it. And that's not for you to say that the way that someone else got there isn't valid towards the way that you are able to get there. That's something I think is very fascinating about the Bible, that it just keeps saying the same stuff, but in different ways, so that different people can understand it, and especially even at the same time, that you can understand it in the time that you need to understand it. That different times and different stages of your life, you understand things differently. Me being the age of 36 today, I understand completely different ways of understanding of life than when I was 16. A 20-year difference has been able to do something to me that's just let me see things completely differently. When I was 16, I was just driving home today, listening to some old music that I'll be listening to in my early teens and my mid-teens, and just I remember my thought process when I'd be listening to those songs and what I was doing and where I was going and things that were going on. That it's very fascinating that I don't think much like that at all. But I would say similar, but the expectations, the understandings of knowing that things are now different, and I see things different because I've had stuff happen to me, situations happen to me, stuff come to me, things for me to do. My experience, my everything has changed along the way. So what I would read at 16 is no longer the same as what I'd read at 26, especially just one specific song just really got in me about something that, in reality, this word hate, a lot of music I used to listen to had a lot of hate and a lot of just extreme negativity about specific people and certain groups and certain genders and certain religions and certain races. Just everything was just extreme amount of hate. And I know a lot of us in that time frame listened to a lot of this music, and I think that we just like moved on from it and like just listened to it and laughed at it and put it in our brain 100 times in a week of listening to the same music over and over, that we got programmed with some extreme hate and certain things that we should try to get out of and try to get away from with all this, say, programming that's come to us. And that was for me today to really put a lot of thought in me about one specific topic that I'm just like, wow, I used to laugh at this. I used to joke about this. And then I used to like think that this was true. And then I live today and see today, and I'm like, I was all wrong. I was all wrong in my thinking for, in reality, the past 20 years. Just reflections today of just interesting. I recommend everyone to listen to some old music that you used to listen to and try to almost like compare it to like nowadays, but not so much as comparing it, but just seeing what state of mind and what you were doing at that time to get you to be able to be in a better position today. So I want to read this in the book Proverbs, of the 6th chapter, all the way down to the 16th verse. And before I read that, I got to say, God, thank you. My prayers are always a thank yous. A thank you of allowing me to be able to have what I have, go where I go, do what I do, be able to experience and be able to witness, be able to just continue to keep speaking a word and to be able to help someone out, to continue to keep doing something to be able to help somebody out, to continue to keep helping me be able to get better at reading. And I've noticed that just reading text on my phone now is getting way better. I mean, just super excited and super happy about that. And being able to just keep watching my situation and stuff out here just getting better. Outside of, I think I need to get a better situation going with my cows that maybe I need to put a little more work in them, but I'm thankful to be able to have them and thankful to be able to have this place, to be able to have that, knowing that I have a problem of like, I might have too much. And I'm thankful to have too much as opposed to not having enough, because I know a lot of people just don't have enough. And that's for me to figure out how to be able to make sure that you can have some of this too much that I have, to be able to make sure that you are in a better position, a better place. So I'm going to read this on the verse of 16. It says, there are six things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him. First one is haughty eyes. We'll get back to that. A lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. A lot of those are very, very interesting. They're interested in a way that it's just straight up. And the only things that aren't straight up was for me to do more research on each one just to get a better understanding, is instead of just reading by and just moving on, but sometimes, most all the time, I like to just stick in it and just stay in it for a little bit to get a good understanding of what's going on and really like dial in each word. And the first word that I was looking through was this term called haughty eyes. It's something that's very interesting that I had to look it up, because I had a good understanding of what it is, but I had to just look it up a little bit more to figure out exactly what's going on here. And exactly what's going on here is something that, I don't know what it is, but certain pieces of music come to me that really make me think a lot when I listen to it. I listen to it, I'm like, I like this. And then later on, I'm listening to it, the actual words, everything going on with it, I'm like, man, I hear what you're saying. And it's something that in one of the songs that he's talking about is pride. And in reality, haughty eyes is being too proudful, being too arrogant, being too full of yourself, being too, everybody else is beneath you and they can't possibly be anything close to like you, that you are a supreme being. You are the best of the best. You are the greatest of the greatest. And every single person out here is used for you to be able to benefit your life, as opposed to figuring out how to be able to help and benefit someone else's life. And it really put a lot of thought in me about that, because I've come to realize that word pride and prideful and being proud is something that I think we all as people kind of use and push a little too far, that we push a little too much, that we're kind of like, I need you to do for me and be for me, as opposed to figuring out how to do for them and be for them. And if we're doing that back and forth, we're both going to figure out how to be able to amplify and upgrade our lives in a sort of a way. That it's something that it straight up says that God hates an extremely prideful person, that just all full of themselves, that thinks that they are superior than the next. That is something that we should all be very careful about, making sure that we're staying away from and not doing. And we're not focusing our life on things like that and trying to use and manipulate folks to be able to get what it is that we want. That's something for me to just realize a different transformation that's changed and that's happened to me in my life, of realizing why I don't have certain things that I used to have, and wondering why certain things are just much more complicated for me today than they ever used to be. And that's the fact of me not pushing out lies, manipulation, slander, putting out false things about what's going on and what's happening, putting out just real sticky situations about things like that, that once you start to tell all the truth of some things, it's kind of hard to like get the abundance of certain things that are kind of criminal in a way, as opposed to the abundance of knowing that we already have it inside of us. And the abundance of I always run into stumble with the money part, because if I can get you what you need for free, I get it to you for free. I can't tell you that you need this, and this just to get something from you, knowing that I don't. That's not needed. That's not required. That if there's a free item for you to get you help, I'm going to push you towards that free item. I'm not going to try to sell you that free item so that I can have some gain on this planet. And something like that is making sure that I'm not being too proud and prideful in my own self, thinking that I know all the answers and I got it all to be able to give to you and sell to you and make you have, and realizing that I could have just helped you out with that for absolutely nothing, because I'm not out here to try to manipulate you. I'm not here trying to lie to you. I'm not here trying to deceive you. I'm not here trying to do any of that, but just see you get into a better place. So the more and more that I start to really understand myself and understand this book and understand a better way of living on this planet, the more I've come to realize it's harder and harder to try to take and just forcibly get, and as opposed to things just naturally coming to you and naturally being. And it's made me have to change up a whole lot about what it is that I say and how I do things and how I go about my ways, to be able to make sure that I'm not out here hurting anybody or trying to make anybody think that they are less than any sort of myself and being. And that's something that I don't know what it is, but I see this a lot today. I see it a lot today with a lot of people that are just, I want mine and I don't even care about this. I want mine and I don't care about you. I want mine and I don't care if I got to damage and destroy that. I want mine and I don't care if I even harm you to the point of death. I want mine, and we all kind of just in this I want mine stage. And that's for me to say, hey, we don't need a function like that at all as human beings. That we should do our best to try to get away from that, because we are not any better than the next. We are just the same. We're on the same plane here. We're on the same field here. You know something better than I know in one circumstance, and I know something better than you know in another situation. It's not that I know it all and I got it all. It doesn't matter. Even if I do know a whole lot more topics than the next person knows, that person just has a whole different other set of topics that they understand. And that's something that for us that we get challenged with each other, that we're constantly going back and forth, because we see something that somebody is doing, and we're out here to try and do what they do, and then we try to fast track what they do, and then we end up destroying and ruthlessly messing things up. And that's the part of on the the middle of the 18th verse was the heart that devises wicked schemes. That you're out here trying to get more and get faster and fast track what it is that you're doing, and when you start doing inappropriate stuff, where you're starting to sell things that you shouldn't sell, when you start to say things that you know aren't true to be able to make that sell, when you start to do things to try to get people to come on board with it, even though it's not something that they should be doing because it's not really good for them. That's something that I just have to really, in my own self, in reality, think a lot about this list and what's being said with it, to figure out where it is I'm going and what it is that I'm constantly keep on doing, and what it is that I'm even saying on a day-to-day basis. That with each day I've just recognized and realized that things are very fascinating, that you don't know it all, and once you learn a little bit more, that's, oh man, my water's running, that's where things are really going to start to be able to upgrade in your life, to be able to have and being able to do some absolutely amazing, great things. And that's something that is just so amazing to me, that knowing that not knowing it all is better than knowing it all. Because once you know it all, now you're kind of in a very interesting, sticky situation that you really can't mess up. And that's where I'm going to say it's a beautiful thing to be a human being on this planet, because we're not perfect. And not being perfect has allowed us to be able to keep on learning, to keep on going, to keep on getting ourselves into a better case and a better situation. And with that, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for even this issue right now, fixing this water that's clearly just pouring like a lake out here. It's very fascinating. There's stuff that just happens, and I'm always thankful to be able to be quick on my toes of how to fix things and do stuff, and thankful for the fact of even being to have something to be able to be broken for me to be able to even fix. That's something that I know a lot of people are struggling even with today, that they don't even have anything to even work upon because they just don't have anything. And that's for me to figure out how to be able to make sure that you can have some more without me having it in me to try to get something from you so that you can have some. I don't need anything, and I truly feel like God has been able to really just give me what it is that I need, so that I can figure out how to be able to give back to the one that does need. And I'm not going to force myself upon you. I'm not going to make you this. I'm not going to make you that. But I sure am going to say, if you're looking for some assistance, I've got some assistance. If you're looking for someone to try to destroy, you just keep going destroying over there, that you're just going to get rejected from me. And I'm thankful for that. I'm just thankful for the whole situation that keeps on happening, the knowledge that I keep on learning, and the ways of this world that I keep on trying to get better with. And I'm just thankful that I'm not perfect, and I'm thankful to be able to have the opportunity to be able to get better. And I hope that you're doing all right today. I hope that things are going pretty smooth for you today. I hope that you're able to get what it is that you're looking for today. I hope that you're able to finally pursue that one thing that you were just so dedicated on wanting to be able to do. That I hope today is the day that you finally were able to get into that. The day that you were finally able to start that. The day that you finally put in some action to be able to do something, to be able to get something done. I hope that you're able to finally just make that happen, because there was a time in the day that I had to just jump in and get it, and I'm so thankful to be able to actually do it, as opposed to just thinking about it and wondering about it. Because I'm telling you, it's much greater to actually do stuff rather than thinking about it. Even if I gotta fix some broken stuff right down here like it is, it's cooler and greater to have something to fix and broke that you've been wishing and dreaming up than just wishing and dreaming it. You want to actually be hands-on, and I'm so thankful to know that that's just a beautiful thing to be able to experience on this planet. Thanks.